6 of the top 100 UFAs on Frank Saravalli's list have come off the board since the market opened 2 weeks ago. But these guys are still out there looking for contracts. Mike Hoffman remains the number one. Eric Holla was Hoffman's teammate with the Florida Panthers last season. He's our highest-ranked center. Sammy Vatanen tops all D-men one spot ahead of 43-year-old Zdeno Chara, who's still trying to decide what he wants to do. For the latest on UFA still looking for work, here's our insider, Pierre LeBrun. Pierre, Mikael Granlund is number 4 on our board. 30 points last season, coming off a $5.75 million cap hit. What's the latest on him?
Well, he has certainly paid the price on two fronts. One, the pandemic pricing, as I like to call it. The number of free agents still out there, and he's paid the price for teams trying to bargain shop from the moment October 9th came and the free agency opened. There certainly isn't a lack of interest. A dozen teams have kept touch since October 9th with Mikael Granlund's camp led by Todd Diamond and Mark Gandler. But again, they're aiming a little too low on the AAV side of things. This is a player that's coming off a deal that paid him $5.75 million a year. But he's also paying the price for his production going down ever since he got to Nashville. It just wasn't a fit in Nashville for Mikael Granlund. And, you know, what you need here is for a team to have enough confidence in knowing that a change of scenery can bring back the Mikael Granlund that we saw with the Minnesota Wild when he was an Olympic team member for Finland, showed a lot of creativity. And by the way, he's 28. This isn't a 35-year-old player trying to hang on. It's a 28-year-old looking for a change of scenery. So what I hear today is that there are teams calling his camp saying, listen, we got to move money. And when we can, we're going to come back at you and make a new offer. So he will end up somewhere. It's not going to be for $5.75 million a year. It's going to have to be for less. But there is interest in this talented player.
Granlund has got to be a little more patient, I guess. Well, listen, Pierre, speaking of that, as we mentioned, 34 of the top 100 UFAs are still out there looking for work. Why has this market come to such a standstill right now?
Yeah, there are a couple of factors that I'm hearing from different teams and agents as I'm making calls here over the last week. And you're right, there's been a bit of a sort of a standstill here. And a lot of what's happened is I think there are teams saying, you know what, let's take a moment here, catch our breath. Let's find out if there is a season next year. Let's find out when Gary Bettman tells us when the puck is dropping, and then we'll circle back and look at what our lineup needs. So I'm hearing that a lot. And it makes sense. I mean, you know, are you going to go out and sign a free agent for a year and then you find out there isn't a season? Now, believe me, I do believe there will be a season, but the point is, I think there are teams looking for a little clarity before they start making more moves on the free agent front or on the trade front. And, you know, I get that.
Almost out of time, but Trevor Daley has retired and has been hired by the Penguins as a hockey operations advisor. Give us the details on that.
Yeah, so neat story there. When Trevor Daley was acquired by the Pittsburgh Penguins, remember he won those 2 cups in 16 and 17. Jim Rutherford told Trevor Daley's agent, Rick Curran, I'm going to hire him one day to come and work in our organization. He was just so enamored with the intellect and the hockey IQ of Trevor Daley. Just loved everything about him. And so, true to his word, Trevor Daley had tried in this offseason to catch on with the team as a player, but obviously things didn't pan out. Jim Rutherford phoned Rick Curran back and said, listen, I'm a man of my word. I meant that 4 years ago. I'd like to hire Trevor Daley. And that's what they did today. It's kind of a neat story. And I love this hire. I think Trevor Daley's a guy that has future GM written all over him.
Interesting